Hello everybody and welcome to another Pottyboy Plays with me talking all over it. Yes. Now today I'm going to be playing the classic Atari 2600 game, that is Enduro. Now I only played this one only about 2-3 years ago. I picked up the Activision Hits Remixed compilation for the Sony PSP, and it was basically a compendium for some of the old Atari 2600 games. And I was able to pick it up cheap. And I thought, you know what? I've never really actually played any of the old Atari 2600 games before. Never had one back in the day. I don't think I've ever really actually played on the real system. But I'd heard things about it and whatever. And I looked at it. I looked at the games and stuff, and I thought, it's pretty simplistic. But when you think about it, it's a games console from like the late 70s. Late 70s, early 80s stuff, and it's pretty much what I come to expect from a console at the time. I mean, to be fair, there was one system I did actually grow up with, and it was one that my dad had, even before I was born. That was he had a Commodore VIC-20 system, which we often used to get out every now and then, and things. I still do these days, and we used to have great fun playing games like Blitz and loads of other games. Games like even the VIC-20 version of Jetpack, that was great. Tracks, that was brilliant. Loads of great games. They were just, they didn't look fantastic, but they were just really, really playable. And this is kind of like, a lot of the whenever I look at the Atari 2600s games, they do remind me of the VIC-20. It's got that very similar, very basic graphics looking style, but I thought, the games themselves, the gameplay and the games themselves might compensate for that. And I'll tell you something. Out of all the games I played, there was quite a few good ones I enjoyed. So I enjoyed on the little Activision Hits Remixed compilation. I enjoyed playing stuff like Pitfall and stuff like that. All the usual stuff. Pitfall's very good. I quite enjoyed Kaboom as well. I remember actually playing a clone of that years and years ago from on the old Commodore 64. There was a clone of it on an old cover tape called Bomber, and that was really quite that was a simple but very addictive game. And Kaboom's and obviously it's the original. It's what this Bomber game was based on, but Bomber was a lot easier. I mean, Kaboom is ridiculously hard. But there's quite a few games. There was hockey as well. I enjoyed that, but that's tough. A couple of others, tennis. There's skiing as well. I think it's alpine skiing. I think it is. And I'll tell you something. There were lots of really, really good games on this compilation. But to me, out of all the games I played on that compilation disc, my favourite game was this one. It really is. This is probably one of the most addictive games I've ever played. And it's for an old, and for a game that's running on an old system from the late 70s, it's incredible. Really is fantastic. I mean, it runs really smart. It runs really fast, really smooth. The gameplay is so simple, yet it's so exciting and addictive. Basically, the idea is this one: that you're driving a car, obviously, and the idea is that you have to pass a certain number of times before the next day, and when the next the time of day is determined by the weather that Christian's experiencing. I mean, at the moment, I've started day 2, and it's it's daytime, obviously. Soon it will change to snow. So it will change to snow any second. Then it goes back to normal. Then it goes night time to represent like 10 o'clock, like midnight sort of thing. And then it will go foggy and misty. It's like something like about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Then it'll be dark again, and then it'll be morning again the next day. And the idea is that you have to pass a certain number of cars before the sun comes up. So it's quite a simple little game, really. It's basically instead of got the time, you got the time, you got the day timing you instead of a little clock in the corner or something like that. Basically, the numbers you see on the bottom of the screen there, the one that's always the set of numbers on the top, that's counting down really counting upwards really fast. That's just your score. Below it is below it the numbers that the numbers that are going down. That's how many cars you've got to pass before you qualify, and the two next to it. That's what level you're on. But basically, what day you're on really. It's a sunset now. It's evening, and then any second now it will go night time. Oh, there you go. It's gone to night time, and then it will go foggy and misty, and then the next day will start. Will I make it to the third day? Probably will. Now it's obviously each day progresses, it gets harder and harder. Cars are much more spread out. They come at you faster as well, and whenever you get hit, more cars will pass. Because every time you get hit, you slow down, and cars behind you will pass you. And but yeah, and I tell you something, it's done brilliantly. I mean, this game was in fact developed and published by Activision back in 1983, and at the time, Activision, obviously who are still going on today with Call of Duty and stuff and all the shitty stuff like that. They made some classics back in the day for the Atari 2600. They really made some great stuff, and this is probably one of the very best. It is brilliant. It is absolutely fantastic fun. Don't be put off by its simple visuals. It really is a heck of a lot of fun, and and I seriously recommend, if you go on Atari 2600, get this game if you haven't played it. Alternatively, you can go to AtariAge.com and download the ROM for your emulator. I'm currently using Stella to play this. It is a great game, and there are lots of very great games for the Atari 2600. It's quite a few. I'll probably do a few more video views once I go for my ROM selection of ROMs. I was inspired to look at some of the Atari 2600 games after listening to the latest Retro Asylum podcast. They were talking about the top 10. They were talking about the top 10 Atari 2600 games. I think on Swaney's list, I think Enduro got quite high, and I don't blame him. It's a great game, and obviously there are other games like Keystone Capers. I think Jungle Hunt was one as well. That's pretty good. I'll do a video on that one soon. Pretty good, but there's loads of others. Loads of great games. There's one that Andy mentioned. Is number 10 choice. There's one that he mentioned which I have actually played the ZX Spectrum version of, and that was Dragonfire, which is so immediately after playing that, that was one of the first games I fired up, and just to see how it compares. Now I played the Spectrum. Now obviously, like I said, I played the Spectrum version beforehand, and it was a fun game. It was pretty simple fun, but it was disappointed by the fact it only had 2 screens, which let it down a bit. The longevity of the game is questionable because of that. And tip for the Atari 2600 version is slightly different. It's the same. It's pretty much the same, really. But there are a few minor, differences between the two versions. Not just in terms of the graphics and the sound, but there are a few differences in the gameplay. I think the Spectrum version probably fared slight. I think the Spectrum version fares slightly better. I don't think it flows as well as the Atari 2600 version. But it does. But it seems to play. But there are some ideas in it that are really, really good. There are times whereby it is actually better than the 2600 version. But anyway, back to this game. I went a bit off topic. this is wonderful. I mean, you know, like I said, for a console released in the late 70s, this is, you know, this is amazing. I mean, okay, this game came out in about 1983, but this is an amazing achievement. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Activision did lots and lots of great games. You know, it's just absolutely brilliant. It's so much fun, and like I said, there are lots of great games, lots of other great games on the 2600. But just don't mention ET or Pac-Man, because yes, I have finally got, I finally managed to play those. Yes, because I only downloaded the complete ROM set recently from AtariAge.com, which is a really good website, by the way. I'll put a link in the description. But yeah, I finally got to experience how bad they were. They were, oh my god! I wished I never fired them up. I've got to do some video reviews on them. But anyway, game over. Anyway, see you guys. Goodbye.